welcome to today's episode of the Mom Spring Show. It's yours truly, Bisola. It's good to be back after our mid-season break, and today is a special episode all about mothers. We're celebrating Mother's Day 2020, and this episode is sponsored by Yèyé Cabaret. We'll learn more about what that is in a few minutes.
Welcome to the Mom Spring Show. Welcome to the Mom Spring Show. Let's say it together. It's the Mom Spring Show. It's the Mom Spring Show. It's lovely. It's lovely. It's the Mom Spring Show. Welcome to Mom Spring.
It's the Mom Spring Show, where anything is possible.
Candy! Candy!
Right. So it's the Mother's Day edition of the Mom Spring Show. And today we're going to be talking about celebrating your mother. Everybody has a mom. You couldn't get here without a mom. So why not dedicate an entire show to mothers, the crucible of life? So today with us, we've got the people who know how to celebrate moms the best, Yèyé Cabaret. We've got the founder of Yèyé Cabaret, and we've got Bukky, who is the face of Yèyé 2020. So, welcome to the show, Ayo.
Thank you.
I know you're like, wait, there's a guy on the show today. Yes, the founder of Yèyé Cabaret is a man. Who best to know how to celebrate mothers than their sons?
Yeah.
So, Ayo.
Yeah.
How come?
Yeah, I still ask myself that question. Like, this wasn't the plan. Architecture was the plan, but
so wait, you're an architect? Like you graduated with architect? Like you passed?
Yes, I did.
And then you decided to go and start Yèyé Cap. So sorry, what is Yèyé? What does that even mean?
Okay, Yèyé is mother in Yoruba.
Okay.
And I understand that even in Edo, Iye means mother. Then Yèyé is the mother's mother.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's very authentic in its identity. The cabaret came about how we wanted the format of the engagement of what we're trying to do. We didn't want a concert, we didn't want an open mic, but we wanted a cabaret which just fits in perfectly.
What is a cabaret?
A cabaret is a kind of entertainment that takes place in a restaurant setting where people are seated, eating, drinking, and you have live performances going on.
So somewhere in Lagos on Mother's Day every year. There's a place where you can sit. Yeah. Fine dining. Okay.
Watch
theatre.
Yeah.
What else happens?
A lot happens, actually. So at Yèyé Cabaret, it's a 3-hour curated showcase. Your first part of it is like the cocktail.
Okay.
Where you have the red carpet, we have the photo booth experience, with props. So you take pictures, fun pictures with your mom, your sister, that special woman in your life.
Okay.
And then we have, but like this year, you're going to have a pop-up spa. So you're going to have the neck and back massage, hot towel, foot massage.
All right.
We've partnered with a lot of people. You're going to have Zaron, the Zaron experience. Okay. Every lady there gets a goodie bag from Zaron.
So you're saying, under one roof, I get dining, I get theatre, I get spa, I get makeup.
You get spoiled.
I get spoiled.
Yeah.
Guys, I think on that day I'm going to be at Yèyé Cabaret personally.
You should. I mean, it's designed to be the go-to destination on Mother's Day. All these activities were informed by our research when we asked people, what are you doing for her on Mother's Day? And you see a lot of people just drawing blanks like, and a few people say, well, I'll take her out to see a movie or see a play. Some others will go, I'll take her out to dinner. And some say, I just buy her a gift.
Right. I mean, to be honest, it can be hard to decide what to get your mom because you're like, sometimes your mom is like the one who saves the day for you most of the time. And so you're like, what do I do to celebrate this woman who's just kind of everything?
Exactly.
And to be able to give her everything, I'm intrigued as to what inspired that. But before we get to that, I want us to introduce the mother that is epitomizing all the mothers this year at Yèyé. Bukky Asehinde.
Hello.
And she's the face of Yèyé. Welcome, Bukky.
Thank you so much for having me.
So Bukky, tell us about you.
What part exactly?
Multifaceted.
Or the, wiki. Well, okay, so I am the founder of Africana. I'm actually popularly known as the creative mother.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm actually very, very inspired by what goes on in the creative field in Nigeria and in Africa as a whole. So I created a community where people who actually produce creative products can find, or consumers can find them. So what Africana pretty much does is bridge the gap between creative businesses and their consumers, not just locally but globally.
Wow.
But as a community, what we've now done is created a sort of family, a creative family that can inspire and support one another to thrive, basically. So that's what I do with Africana. But personally, I'm a ginger. Like, I'm an excited person. I like to have fun. I like to just chill and just love life and enjoy life.
Wow. Yeah. So, you're a mother and you've created a community that helps others thrive and showcase their creativity.
Yes.
So, how come she's the one who's representing all the mothers?
Well, excuse me. I've known Bukky for quite some time, and I've been following her good works. Both online and physically. I've attended the ACE Awards and the exhibition she has. And when it came to this year's edition, because of the sensitive topic we're also, trying to create awareness around.
Right.
The timing was perfect.
It was perfect.
Everything just aligned. And if you look at the image, it just captures the imagination. When you talk about like the PPD aspect of it, it's something that someone can easily relate with, the baby and all. So with Yèyé, for instance, what we try to do, in as much as we celebrate Mother's Day, we are the Mother's Day brand, we try to go deeper than just the whole felicitation. One of the things we try to do is to expand the narrative of motherhood, and that's by talking about the individuality of the woman. So most times when you talk about motherhood, what comes to people's minds, raising a child, childbirth, the domestic aspect of things, and that can be very reductive. And in this day and age where you have mompreneurs,
did you just say reductive?
Yeah.
Okay, new word.
Yeah. You have mothers who have their own online communities like Bukky, who have blogs. Yes. You hardly talk about. It's a new age. You don't talk about when you say stay-at-home moms. It's not housewife.
Right.
No, it's not.
They're usually really busy.
Exactly.
Stay-at-home moms are busy.
Yes. So Bukky kind of epitomizes everything. I'm not saying she's a stay-at-home mom,
right?
But she's digital. She has a digital platform.
Yes.
She activates the space.
Yes.
She has. She has a baby.
Newborn.
Yeah,
who's in the studio, by the way.
Yeah. So all those kind of informed our thinking in terms of the selection process for who the mother should be.
Right.
And Bukky is someone who, like I said, I have a relationship with as a friend. So it was easier that way.
Right.
So also,
it's really amazing who you've picked, because to be honest, the moms who I would say the millennial moms, who are the moms of today, they're doing a lot of things. They're juggling a lot of things. Even if they're working full time, they probably have some kind of side business they started. Then they're managing the home. Then you've got the demands of the digital age where you always have to be always on. If you don't respond in a WhatsApp group, you're a bad person.
Are you speaking from experience?
Yes. I am that chick who would see it 3 days later and they're like, but Bisala, it was on the group. And I'm like, I didn't know. I am that chick, sorry. There's just so much you have to keep up with, and everybody expects you to just always be available and be responsive. So to be able to manage that is inspirational and it's amazing. Well done.
Thank you.
And I know I've been challenging Ayo. I was like, so Face of Yèyé, what's Face of Yèyé going to do to just change how people see motherhood? Because this show has been inspired to help women have a voice, mothers have a voice, because we are the unsung heroes. So every home is the glue is the mom, but you never hear people hailing her for being a mom. People are just she's a mom. That's what she's supposed to do.
Exactly.
Really? Yeah, the mommy. So who else is going to do it? And so it's amazing that you've created this platform to celebrate mothers of all ages. Because from when I've seen the pictures, I'm seeing millennial moms, I'm seeing the older moms and the grandmas and
the great grandmas
and the great grandmas. And there's something you do. You call it the what is it? The multi-generation.
4th generation. It's called Dynasty.
Oh yeah, sorry, break it down for us.
Yeah, so basically, I observed that there was something that we had in Australia within our communities that we don't celebrate, and that's one of the things that we're quite deliberate about everything we do at Yèyé.
Right.
So 4 generations, dynasty is about 4 generations: the daughter, mother, grandmom, great grandmom, and we look for them in Lagos or anywhere that we can actually find them, and we take a portrait of them, and then there's a poem to celebrate that portrait or celebrate that family, and we're doing that for like 4 years now.
So do you create a unique poem for each portrait that you do? Oh wow,
we do. Yeah,
that's beautiful.
That's another thing about you.
Yeah, that's
You're the
amazing.
Yeah, I'm a poet.
Yes.
So he's the architect, founder of Yèyé Cabaret, poet. Anything else we need to add to the resume?
We'll have to go to the website.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
That's humble brag.
I'm not good. Well, I was going to say something, but I wouldn't. This is not a show for that.
So, Dynasty. Dynasty is just the essence is to show the beauty and the importance of documenting history, especially in a country like Nigeria where we forget things easily. We move on so easily. We don't document. How many people keep notepads? How many people keep diaries? It's not just about your secrets. It's about things that come to your mind. Especially as creatives, ideas come to you at any point in time. So it's good they say ideas are either documented or decimated. So that's why we do these things. We try as much as possible to use our platform to enlighten people, to impact society. So it's a very subtle way of actually showcasing the beauty of documenting history.
Wow. So, amazing. So I want to hear more from the face of Yèyé Cabaret. So tell us about your network. Because mothers inspire me. We're here on the Mom Spring Show, so it's about the moms. So we know you're celebrating moms. Thank you, Ayo, for celebrating us. So the mom that you've called to represent us, let's hear from her so we can hear ourselves in her.
Okay. You said my network or everything in particular?
Everything you do.
Okay. So first of all, I'm going to start by saying this is my first child.
Oh, wow.
So it's a fresh, amazing experience.
How many months is she?
She's actually 11 months today.
Oh, wow. Happy birthday.
I put up a status and I'm like, please don't call me a baby again. I'm a grown girl. But no, they grow up so fast. I mean, it's been an amazing experience. Just like Ayo said, I also love to document a lot. So you can imagine the amount of pictures I've taken till date.
Wow.
In my network, I have too many creatives, and I think they've pretty much influenced the way I think in a lot of ways.
How long has the network been in existence?
3 years plus now.
Okay.
Yes, but it's pretty much since I've been a child, to be honest, because my mom always says that I love to be surrounded with aesthetics, beautiful things. Wow. Maybe I couldn't just translate how I was thinking at that time, but now it all just makes sense, connecting the dots, looking back and everything.
So what were you doing prior to starting the network?
Well, first of all, I have to say that I actually studied biochemistry. Girl. It's a long story, but
all these science students,
man, I think all of that was just. Everything was just pretty much, helping the mental space. Everything really adds up, to be very honest. When you look back, my experience, I've been in a lot of managerial roles.
Okay.
So in terms of customer service, relationship with people, constructive feedback. And also my personality, I have everything put together. So I'm a very people's person. Even though with my experience now, I know how to navigate my people personality. So I understand how to, put me first, put God first, put my family first, put my business first, and all of that.
Wait, that's like 4 first?
Man, so yes, no, just one God first. But
okay.
In terms of, as you grow in like that different season.
True.
So I remember very well when I actually had her, when I had my child. That was, 11 months ago, obviously. It took a lot, like my mental space. And for someone like me that loves to talk about positivity a lot,
right.
I think I was really preparing myself for this journey. So when Ayo told me about the PPD, which he was concentrating on as postpartum and depression. It didn't, sometimes it's best when you experience something to be able to relate and actually talk about it. The first 2 weeks of being a mother was so overwhelming, super overwhelming. And it took me talking to myself to, take myself out of imploding because I was internalizing a lot. And for the kind of business that I had, 3 months went like flash before I had to come back to work.
Right.
So another thing that this experience had taught me is to not just rebrand my business, but also rebrand myself. You know, I use the digital space a lot. And then I noticed that I started to talk about, I pretty much went through a rebranding process where I started calling myself a ginger. I had to start calling myself Bukky the Ginger because
So you mean you ginger people?
Yes.
Okay,
Because
there we
what
go.
I do, if I'm not gingered, how will I ginger other people?
How are you going to spark a fire? There's no fire.
Spark a fire, exactly. So, and you know, if you're looking to push to get that name creative mother, and it takes a lot. Because it means that you're looking to push other creatives to actually take the action in implementing what they need for their business. So you have to be able to be at that space mentally to be able to be productive.
Right.
And then when I had my beautiful daughter, and I also say something that, see, God packages your own for you. When people see me up and down at conferences, at networking events, and they're like, "Okay, you're with your baby." I'm like, "Yes, please, I'm with my baby." You know, allow me experience, allow me enjoy this journey this season. Because I also got to a place where I knew that this season it would grow. I would grow, she would grow, everybody would grow. So it's not about, oh, is it not a lot? Is it not this one? Why don't you have a nanny? Why don't you? It's just too much. Understand yourself, understand the strengths that you have. Enjoy the journey because it will grow, you know?
And you won't have this again.
You won't
She's
have
only
it
going to be
again.
11 months once in her life.
Thank you.
So let's enjoy
By
it.
tomorrow, it's 11 months and 1 day. Just counting down.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
You
So
know?
do you keep a journal then?
I do.
Really?
I have books. I write.
So what would you say is the benefit of journaling?
It's, you know, it's being able to do a lot. It makes you more productive. That's the first thing. And also you can look back and actually read. Sometimes it also helps you keep being motivated. Because when you write a lot, it's like a whole jar of everything. Gratitude, remembrance, ideas, even like the downtimes.
Right.
For you to be able to say, oh, wow, I've actually passed through this.
Yeah,
So when you're in the moment,
yeah.
like, I've dusted this.
So when you're in the moment, you can seem like your whole life is that thing. And then you go back later and be like, wait, I've got past this? I can't do anything.
So bring on, like, where's the next phase?
Yes.
That sort of thing. So it's a whole lot of things, honestly. And it helps a lot.
Good. And that's why we have a journal on the Mom Spring app. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Oh,
quickly.
awesome.
Yeah. So we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Mom Spring Show. Welcome to the Mom Spring Show. Let's say it together. It's the Mom Spring Show. It's the Mom Spring Show. It's lovely. It's lovely. It's the Mom Spring Show. Welcome to Mom Spring.
It's the Mom Spring Show, where anything is possible.
Candy.
Yeah.
Candy. Candy.
And we're back. As we were talking earlier in conversation with Ayo and Bukky, PPD kept coming up, postpartum depression. How does that how does that relate to what's happening this Mother's Day with Yèyé Cabaret?
Okay, so as a Mother's Day brand, we always like beyond the entertainment, beyond the felicitation of the day, we ask ourselves the question: how do we impact society? How does this have any impact on society? Even as a creative, whatever your work is, there must be some sort of social impact. So we looked around, and the discourse around this time is on mental health. There's a lot of conversations around that. And the question is, how does mental health relate with our own brand? And you talk about maternal mental health, and which is a very broad topic. So we had to narrow it down to something that we could actually work on, and that was PPD. That's where PPD came about. So we sought to leverage our platform to create awareness around this subject matter. It's a very serious matter that gets, swept aside or ignored, and a lot of people don't quite understand it. And there are a lot of mothers who actually experience this thing, but they don't even know what they're experiencing. There's this page on Instagram, I've forgotten the name now, which was set up by this man in honor of his wife. She was suffering from PPD. Unfortunately, she lost the fight to it So he set it up to like create awareness around that. So much more than that, people don't know where to get help from, even if some people identify or recognize what it is. So what we've done is we're using the theater, the musical, to actually pass the message across in a very subtle way. So it's not going to be, some sort of very sad theater production. There will be the mention of it. There will be that kind of highlight of PPD. More so, we've partnered with A&D Referrals. They have this facility where they actually help with cases of mental health, drug abuse, and whatnot. So we have Dr. Yinka Jibuno, who's working closely with us on the subject of PPD. She's going to also be relating with actors and actresses. She's actually spoken with a few of them, sharing some real life stories. So on that day, part of the play, there'll be the script is written in such a way that it actually shares some stories of what some Nigerian mothers have actually experienced this PPD thing. They're also going to have a stand there on the day, so people can actually, beyond creating awareness, where is the point of contact.
So if they need support,
exactly,
they can follow up, or if they need to link somebody to them.
Exactly, yeah.
Amazing.
And it's important. What we're hoping to achieve is to help the men also understand what this thing is. Because if a mother is suffering from PPD, and her husband is oblivious of what it is, because the way it manifests is very strange.
It's different in different women as well.
Yeah, so the husband might be confused. He might be like surprised by her reaction.
And some people might even wonder, like, why would you be sad? You have a child.
Exactly. Especially in this kind of environment where there's a big deal around childbirth and having a child and all. So the husband, rather than him providing the support, he becomes a problem, a burden to her if he doesn't know what she's doing, if he doesn't know what she's going through,
or even how to support. It's one thing to know what she's going through, another thing to know what to do about it.
So we're sort of like inviting the men to this conversation as well, using theater. So we just want to be creative in our way of creating awareness as well.
That's a good thing with theatre, right? Because it's easy for people to identify themselves in the story and see how they might deal with things. Yeah. And I think that's very powerful beyond just lecturing at people. Because sometimes it's harder to absorb the information when you're just getting as if it's a class.
Or even reading it.
Or even reading upon it, But when you watch somebody's emotions and what's happening and how it affects the entire community, then it's easier to kind of see how you want to avoid that and take steps to... But would you say that postpartum depression have you found that is popular or that is very rampant these days?
I can't answer that because something I also just recently discovered. But what research says is 1 in 5 mothers
experiences it. That's 20%.
Yeah, which is quite high.
So that means that if you know 5 women that are mothers, one of them probably has postpartum depression.
So that's that, and the fact that
we don't announce it in our culture, so it goes untreated. Yeah.
They say black men don't get depressed, or black people don't get depressed.
Who said that?
Oh, I've heard that a number of times.
It's
not scientific.
It's just what they say.
Yeah, it's what they say. Blacks don't get depressed. Even
I call it a silent crisis. It's happening. Yeah. It's not identified. Even when people try to cry out for help. I remember telling my mom, I think it was a year after I had my first child, that I think I'm depressed. And she said, God forbid, it's not your portion. And I was like, okay, awkward.
Or they take it to the church, and then but there's the medical aspect of this thing, and that's why we had to partner with Dr. Yinka and A&D.
Amazing what you're doing.
So
well done.
Thank you.
Yes, this is the kind of thing that we need. So it's good that you're looking at the women not just from an experiential point of view in terms of what they'll get and having fun that day, but making sure they can be whole.
Exactly, the totality.
So that's amazing. That's really, really amazing. Well done.
Thank you.
So, Yèyé Cabaret started in 2014?
Yes.
We were arguing about whether that's 6 or 7 years ago, but whatever.
7th edition, 6 years ago.
7th edition. It's been 7 years. That's what I have to say.
You're the boss.
And, give us the story, the evolution. I know you talked a little bit about what inspired it, but why? Why Yèyé Cabaret? Why not just send flowers to all the moms in Lagos? Why should they come to the event?
All the mothers in Lagos.
If you want to celebrate the mothers now, why don't you just do that? Why come to this event? And over the past 7 years, how has it evolved?
Okay, so the backstory to Yèyé Cabaret is 2012, 2013. I remember when I was at my mom's place, and then she showed me, I think the 2012 was a cake that she was giving at church, and the following year was, I think, a stem rose. And I said, oh, we're giving this at church for Mother's Day. And I remember vividly saying to myself, that's it, you know. And then something said to me, like, okay, why don't you do something for her?
I mean, fix it if it's a problem.
But I just kind of like, nah, not my problem, man. My elder ones can take care of that, you know. So that was on the side. Meanwhile, myself and my current producer, who's been with me from day one, by the way, we're working on a project called Ekoile.
Okay.
And it was very ambitious. And that was our first major gig. We were naive. We didn't have funding. So I said to him, dude, I think we better just scale down this thing, and so that people can have an idea of what we're trying to sell to them, like a proof of concept.
Okay.
So the idea, what was it going to be? I remember looking through my diary, the pages of my diary, and I saw the next coming event was Mother's Day.
Right.
And that incident that happened some
Connected
months,
the dots there.
So I said, okay, let's do a Mother's Day event. And then it's poetry. So we just put the whole concept around Mother's Day. And I thought of the name. I said, in as much as it's going to be like a one-off thing. So yeah, truth of the matter was, Yèyé was supposed to be a one-off thing. Never.
And 7 years later, 7 editions later.
It was supposed
Do you still think it's going to be one-off?
Nah, it's too late. I mean,
Too late.
Last year, someone rang me up, almost fighting with me, like, dude, my mother just called me that I didn't take her to that place I took her to last year.
Yes, no. This is going to become a tradition for some families.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, we've had support from people like Dame Abimbola Fashola, who's never missed one.
Wow. That's valuable.
Yeah, Mrs. Amota should never. We have people who are like
consistently
Team Yèyé,
coming.
you know,
Team
like
Yèyé, I like it.
That's their own thing. So it was supposed to be a one-off, but we did that. They liked it, so we said, okay, we'll do one for the road, 2015.
Right.
It was, and the first edition was at Bogobiri House. Shout out to Tola Kirili, who gave me the time and the support. I had never met her before. She was even ill on that day. Her daughter was ill, mom and daughter ill, and then, you know, so that image, I'll never forget it when she was having the meeting with me, and she just gave me the support. So they were the first brand we ever partnered with, and together with Newton and David, who gave us the flowers, which we give every mother there, every woman there, you know. So that was 2014, 2015, and people kept saying, you know, how far next year? And so they
just kept asking, you're like, well, I guess I have to do another one.
Yeah, like that.
Another one.
Not until 2017 that I then got the understanding of what it was, you know, that there are brands out there catering to mothers.
Yes.
You have a target market.
Yes.
But there's no activation space.
Yes.
So you're talking about sending flowers.
Right.
Why do we have to come to one place?
Yes.
Why do you have to? So there's something about a sense of community.
Right.
That's another thing that Yèyé Cabaret offers. Yeah. So you have mothers of all
ages,
exactly, and
stages and backgrounds,
exactly, and so we are apolitical. We are, I like to say this, secular. So, because here's the thing: Mother's Day is celebrated in churches,
right?
And the question is, what happens to the Muslim mother?
Oh, that's a good question.
What happens to the, I dare say, atheist mother? What happens to the mother who's not a Christian
or who's not religious? Period.
Or religious, exactly. So that's what we also celebrate about Yèyé Cabaret, like mothers from all walks of life. Everyone just comes together to celebrate the joy of motherhood. Wow. As simple as that.
It's amazing.
That's amazing. It's very powerful too. Well done. So this year, this is going to be the 7th edition.
Yeah.
And it's happening on Mother's Day?
Yes.
That's March 22nd?
Yes.
In Lagos?
By the grace of God.
Where in Lagos?
At the podium in Lekki, actually.
Okay. What time?
It starts from 5. So 5 to 6 is the pre-event.
Okay.
Then the cabaret starts from 6 o'clock, between 6 and 8. Dinner will be served from 6:15, and we're having chef catering.
Okay. I hope it's not Nigerian timing on this one. Like, it's military.
It has to be. It has to be, because everything works clockwork.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Because that's one big thing with mom. Like, time is a scarce resource. We want to make the most of everything. Good. Yeah. So, is there anything you want the moms to leave with today? What would it be?
Well, we usually say, if there's one place you want to be on Mother's Day, it has to be Cabaret. And it's not only for moms. We usually say to the men, take that special woman in your life out on
Take your mom out, take your
sister,
girl out, take your
anyone,
wife out,
your friend.
take the girl you want to be your wife out.
Some men actually use that as the opportunity to take their wives out on a date. The same Nigerian men.
So
are not
when you
romantic.
say the opportunity, are you saying that they're not taking their wives on a date out normally?
Scratch that. I didn't say that.
Raising eyebrow.
But because of the setup, it's very it's an intimate setting, evening affair.
So it
and
could
all
be,
that.
nice romantic evening with
Exactly.
the mother of your children,
And
or you can nudge your husband to listen to this, portion of to this episode actually in entirety.
Yeah. And we're having a surprise guest on that day.
Ooh,
Trust me, it's gonna be interesting. Fingers crossed. We're really praying.
I'm stressed out. Now I'm already stressed out.
It's gonna be there's a surprise package, and I just hope everything the stars align. It's gonna be very.
And I'm sure it will. You're doing an amazing thing, so the stars have no choice but to align.
Amen.
And how much does it cost to take my mom out that day?
So you have 3 different ticket categories. You have the regular, which is $5,000.
Okay.
You have the VIP, which is 20, and you have the deluxe, which is 50.
Okay, so what do I get for 5?
Of course, you're gonna be served food, drinks. You enjoy the whole package of fine dining. The theater and the pop-up spa.
Okay.
All the experience there that we mentioned.
That's good value. So for 5K, I get to eat dinner.
So it's
watch
actually
theater.
Yep.
And do the pop-up spa.
Yeah.
All 3.
Yeah. Not just the pop-up spa. I mean,
What else do I
the
get?
Zaron experience, the makeup. Every lady gets a gift bag.
I get a goodie bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not just Zaron, other partners as well. I don't know.
So I'm getting more than these 4 things. I'm getting these 4 things number 1. Then I'm still getting more for my 5K.
Yeah.
Goodvalue.com. Oh yeah. So for the next year, what was it again?
The $20,000.
Yes.
So obviously that's a step higher in terms of the food served. So it's a 2-course meal for our chef as well.
Okay, so I get more courses in my meal.
Yeah.
Yes.
You get to sit in the house.
Okay. Premium seats.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's some other packages I don't want to mention.
Some
that
secrets.
they have
just
coming.
tensioning our spine here.
Yeah.
Okay. And so if I go for the deluxe, what do I get?
Well, you'll be sitting with captains of industries.
Okay, then.
So the power of networking.
So that's where networking now goes beyond just dining.
Yes.
We're going to network as well. So we're going to have some bonding time with mom and also close some deals here.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well done. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you
this
for
has
having
been an inspirational segment, an inspirational show, really. And I'm looking forward to Mother's Day.
Yeah, we're looking forward
if my mom's in town, I'm going to bring her along. If not, I will be celebrating myself.
As you
at
should.
Yèyé Cabaret. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you for listening. And this was sponsored by Yèyé Cabaret. And we hope to see you all there March 22nd at the podium in Lekki. 5 p.m., right?
5 p.m.
All right, it's a date.